Hey Frontline fans, welcome back to Comic Frontline and fans. You're back with me, Mike Spider Slayer, getting ready to do another episode of Spider Slayer's Haul. That's right, guys. This is the video series where each and every week I show you, the fans, which comics I picked up. And this week, guys, I have a comic box. So what's inside the mysterious comic box? Well, when you open it up, and you take off the cover, you get the mysterious black bag of comics. Yes, that's all it is. There's nothing else inside but just this week's comic books. So, it's a pretty big week. I don't know if you can't see it yet, but let's get started with this week's haul, shall we? All right, here we go. I will let you know it's double bagged, so there is something different than just the comics in here altogether. So, all right. Oh. First things first, the bags go on the floor, and put the comics over here, and let's get started. All right, so first things first is we have a Marvel's previews book of the upcoming Marvel Now titles that are coming out starting in October. I looked through this briefly, and they give you some instances of what these comics kind of look like. Clone Conspiracy starts off like this, where you have Rhino facing off against Spider-Man and Electro. Here we have the Champions, where you get to see Roberto Ramos's artwork in here, which looks pretty cool. It seems a little bit dark, though, from what I was expecting. So I'm not sure what to think of that in the book. If you're interested in Infamous Iron Man, I kind of was, and I was thinking about picking up this book. Then when I saw the artwork in it, I was like, oh, wow, this is very dark, and I don't like dark Iron Man books. Even though it has to do with Victor Von Doom, I like Iron Man books that have lots of detail. Great Lake Avengers is the next one that is actually talked about in here. And this seems to have good artwork, but it's probably just too kooky for me. The next book that I was kind of thinking about maybe buying is the Solo book, but I don't know if I'm going to. The artwork looks pretty good. It's pretty solid looking. So people that are a fan of like Mercs for Money or whatnot might want to check that out. So there's your preview there. We get Gwenpool issue #1 as well in here. Very anime style type of artwork when you look at the internal artwork in the book. And then fans of Jessica Jones, if you like the original series, it's going back to that original art style. And that's what you're going to get. It's going to have that look and feel from the original book. I can tell you right now, I won't even touch Cage issue #1. This is the way the artwork looks in this book. And I'm sitting here looking at this going, no way in hell am I ever going to pick this up. I can't see anybody picking this book up. Definitely not one for me. If you're a fan of Hellcat, this kind of continues that series. And then Mosaic, who is the new Inhuman. So we get a little preview of that. Uncanny Avengers. That series is obviously still going on as different parts of the team. We have Captain America in here. The new Deadpool Mercs for Money book, where it's got Domino and Gorilla Man, Machine Man, Hit Monkey, and the character from the actual movie as well. Then you got Doctor Strange, Black Panther, Black Widow, and that's pretty much really about it. In here that's worth talking about. So if you want to go out and check out your previous book, it's at the store. All right. Not buying. Oh my God, that Luke Cage book looks good. All right, so let's go on to the actual comics. First things first is we're talking about from Marvel is Deadpool Annual. I'm on and off with Deadpool. I don't normally read it, but when it had to do with Spider-Man and his amazing friends, I was like, yeah, I have to pick this up. And I actually looked at it first before I decided to pick it up. And I saw it did have Bobby and Angelica in it, and Firestar and Iceman. And I was like, okay, kind of cool. It's got Deadpool on there on the couch. So I'm kind of saying this looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, as it has to do with those characters in the book. So definitely had to check this one out. So this is the Deadpool Annual issue 1. All right, next we have a new independent book. This one's written by Sarah Kenny, and it's done by John Watkiss, and this is called Surgeon X. Just looks weird. I didn't even read it. I just noticed that this was the newest independent comic book of the week, and it had a lot of copies, and so I had to pick it up. Looks like it takes place in London 2036. You open up the artwork. It's pretty interesting looking. Not sure what to expect from there. But I'm looking to see what this story really is about. And again, I'm trying more and more independent books as Marvel is just not hitting it for me as of these days. So this is Surgeon X, issue number 1. All right, next we have Transformers, More Than Meets the Eye. Issue number 57. This is called Titan's Return. I guess this is starting a new story arc. And being that I'm reading Revolution, I kind of want to try to get back into the Transformers. I always try them here and there to see if the stories get any better. There's always lots of dialogue that kind of takes you out of the story at times. But nevertheless, I do like the Transformers. I really love them. They're just, you know, they're my childhood, and I keep giving the series a try. So this is Transformers More Than Meets the Eye, issue number 57. All right, next from DC, we have Action Comics, issue 964. So are we going to get the outcome of who Clark Kent is? I don't know. We'll find out, but I'm anxiously awaiting what happens in that story. So Action Comics, issue 964. All right, next is Batgirl, issue number 3. Issue number 2 was a lot of fun as you got to see her kind of, learning how to do like these fighting, these martial arts, and she got her ass kicked at the end of the last issue, and I thought that was awesome. Kind of brought her back down to reality. Great book. I thought issue 2 was better than issue 1 for what I remember, and it looks like it's continuing right where it left off when she lost her match. So yeah, so this is Batgirl issue number 3. All right, next is Batman Beyond Rebirth, issue number 1. Now, I heard that issue number 16 was a book that maybe you should have read to kind of get you up to speed and prepared for Batman Rebirth. I never got a chance to read it, so unfortunately, I'm starting it here at the Rebirth issue. So, looking forward to it. Seeing Terry McGinnis back. Yeah, so this is Batman Rebirth, issue 1. All right, next we have The Flash, issue number 7. Here it looks like we have Wally in here, and we wound up getting revelation of who Godspeed was, which was kind of predictable. I know a lot of people were a little bit upset about that situation. I kind of liked the book for what it was. I liked how Barry Allen was really overconfident, and then he kind of got his hopes crushed and dreamed all in one issue. He lost his girlfriend, he lost his partner, he lost his best friend, and he's just lost everything. And so I like that aspect of the book. And so this continues that, and this is issue 7 of The Flash. All right, next we have Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps. Looks like John Stewart is going to go after Guy Gardner as he is MIA in action. And at first, John Stewart and the Corps were going to kind of regroup, retool each other. But you know what? It's not how in his mentality really works. So he's going to just sit there and go after, whoever has Guy Gardner, which is obviously the Yellow Lanterns and whatnot. So good book. I've enjoyed it. So this is Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps, issue 5. Next from IDW, it continues the whole Revolution thing, and this one has to do with Mask. Mask issue 1, or Revolution Mask issue number 1. This is another 80s property that's being introduced into IDW. I love this cartoon as there's a bunch of people that wore these crazy masks, and they drove these vehicles, and they transformed from like cars to different types of weapons, and I love that. This took place same time as G.I. Joe, again, and Transformers. So now this is all out here in for IDW. So if you're an 80s fan like me, you're going to, I think, like this book. So this is Revolution Mask, issue number 1, which stands for Mobile Armored Strike Command with a K. All right. Next, we are talking about Miss Marvel, issue number 11. This is done a Civil War 2 tie-in done right, as this has to do with Miss Marvel, I guess, starting to hate her idol. And, she's caused all these problems for Miss Marvel. Now her best friend, Bruno, has been hurt. He's possibly dying. We don't know what's going to become of him in the future. And I think we're going to get to see Miss Marvel grow up before your eyes. No longer going to be this little, fan favorite of Miss Marvel anymore. She's going to be her own superhero. And so this is Miss Marvel issue number 11. All right, next we have Saga chapter 38. Why did I forget what happened in the last issue? I can't remember at all. Jeez. It's just that Saga doesn't come out so often. All I remember is that Alana is pregnant again with another child. They got reunited with their daughter, and it's been a good story. I have to read it to remember what's going on, but Saga is a great book. I always recommend, though, for this, go out there and read it in trade. I think the story is more cohesive that way because it comes out in spurts. Sometimes it comes out every month. Sometimes it comes out, twice a month, or I'm sorry, every 2 months, but then they take that hiatus for when the trade comes out. So you kind of tend to forget what happens at times. So really good series overall, and this is Saga chapter number 38. All right, next is a book I continue to read because the cliffhangers are always so good and intriguing, but the book itself is just like, why am I reading this? This does not fit my personality whatsoever. It deals with today's social media nonsense and everything, and this is Snotgirl chapter number 3 or issue number 3. Yeah, interesting cover. I mean, a girl has her boyfriend, Maddie has her boyfriend, I guess, and they have a cherry between her. I don't know, but I need to find out what happens in this book. Is she going to go to jail for this particular murder that she committed? Is the girl that she did commit murder with, is she just something made up in her head? Like, what is going on? I'm not sure. There's a big mystery here, and I just have to find out how it's solved, and that's what's keeping me on this book. So this is Snotgirl number 3. All right, next is Spider-Woman number 11, another Civil War II tie-in, as we've get to see Jessica deal with Captain Marvel here as well, as trying to shine the light in her eyes, being like, you're wrong, I'm right, and it's going to happen that these two are going to wind up hating each other too. I wouldn't be surprised if everyone hates Carol. And the funny thing is I was talking to this with my comic shop manager in this, and he was like, yeah, they got this Captain Marvel movie coming out. It's the first female lead for Marvel Comics, movie that's having their own movie. And they have this event where you, as the reader, hate Captain Marvel right now because she's in the wrong. So it's like kind of funny how it's kind of hurting her right now if you're a comic book fan. So, yeah, Civil War II tie-in, Spider-Woman, issue number 11. All right, Star Wars. Issue number 23 is the next book that we're talking about. That's come out this week. Han Solo, Princess Leia here on the cover. Last issue, you got to see the Rebels steal a Star Destroyer. That's something you don't see every day. I mean, how do you get away with stealing with a Star Destroyer? Does that continue off of that going forward? I'm not sure. Maybe it does. Yeah, they do. They're in like light speed. So we'll see what happens with this whole thing. So this is Star Wars issue number 23. All right, next is a new number 1 from DC this week, or it's Teen Titans Rebirth, actually. It's the Rebirth issue, where we get to see our Titans. They're back, and they're rebirthed in this new DC universe, and I guess it's going to have an introduction to all the characters once again. If you're not sure what the artwork looks like, here's what it looks like here. Very cartoony type of style of artwork. Here it looks like you get to see Beast Boy. It changes into a big freaking shark. Starfire looking, like Starfire does in the DC universe. She's pretty, she's gorgeous looking. Hopefully she's not overly sexualized, though. That's when you have a problem with it. But nevertheless, great looking book. I'm looking forward to Teen Titans Rebirth, and this is issue number 1. All right. Next, talking about Teen Titans, now we're talking about Titans, as this continues Kadabra's revenge on the Titans, as he had a bunch of, I guess, young Titans, Teen Titans, I guess, going after regular Titans. He created his own people, and this continues that book. So I don't know. We'll see what happens on this book. So this is Titans issue number 1. Next, we have the Totally Awesome Hulk, issue number 10. This one has to deal with Amadeus Cho meeting up with Black Panther. Seems like a while since I've read the issue of Totally Awesome Hulk. This one obviously is probably going to end soon. We'll see how this ties into Civil War, how Amadeus is continuing to deal with Bruce Banner's death. I think that's why I kind of continue to read this book. So we'll see where it goes. Totally Awesome Hulk, issue 10. And next from DC Comics, we have Rebirth Wonder Woman, issue number 7. This continues the main story of what's going on here. Steve Trevor's being captured. Wonder Woman is trying to get him, and she's trying to find her way back to Themyscira, where she needs the Cheetah's help because she can't remember how to get back there. So this has been a really well done book as well. Not as strong, in my opinion, as the Year One stories, but the artwork is absolutely gorgeous, and I love the world. I love how everything is drawn. Paneling is really nice in here, so definitely looking forward to reading Wonder Woman. I love that. Like, look at that. It's so good. So well done. The detail into the creatures are awesome. So definitely looking forward to that. Next, we wound up getting Image Plus magazine, where it continues to talk about the books that are coming out for Image Comics. It also continues the story of Here's Negan, which I'm going to do a review of or an actual recap on once I get done with this, as a lot of people look forward to that each month. And it's part 6 on that. But this is a really good book if you're looking for independent books that are coming out in the future. It gives you an idea for them, and I think this is it's a good idea from Image Comics that they came out with this, and this is only $1.99, so well worth it, and you get that Negan story in there as well. All right, and then last but not least, I wound up getting this trade as a Transformers fan. I wound up getting this trade right here, Transformers, the IDW Collection, Volume 3, Phase 2. This is a really nice looking trade. You can see it's really thick. It is used, so there's a little wear on the corner there. But it was only $6.99, and I'm getting a lot of story here. It collects More Than Meets the Eye from issues 9 through 13, the 2012 annual, Robots in Disguise 10 and 11, and the 2012 annual, plus the Thundercracker, Bumblebee, and Megatron spotlights. So I think if you're a fan of Transformers, for $6.99 for a hardcover book, I couldn't go wrong with this, even though it was slightly used. So there you guys have it. There is the haul for the week. Quite a lengthy haul, and I gave you a little bit of what's to come for Marvel now. So now it's your turn, guys, to leave in the comments below. Are you excited about Marvel now? Is there any titles that you're going to pick up? And also leave me in those comments below about books that you picked up for the week. Which ones you're most excited for? Which ones you're least excited for? And fans, as always, thank you for watching Comic Frontline. Until the next comic book review, this is Mike Spider Slayer signing off. Take care, guys. Bye.